Today we'll be reading Danzigorro Potts Data Card from Jedi vs. Sith, The Essential Guide to the Force by Ryder Windham. Facts are few about the events that led to the first schism when the relatively young Jedi Order went up against the first organized band of Dark Jedi. We know that it was in approximately 24,500 BBY that a faction of Jedi Knights renounced the ancient Jedi Masters and experimented with new ways to use the Force. Apparently frustrated by the rigid teachings of their former teachers, these rebels celebrated their freedom by giving in to their passions and emotions, and touching the power of the dark side. They called themselves the Legions of Lettow, and they were led by General Xendor, a powerful Force-using humanoid whose origins remain unknown. The Jedi Council, enraged at this act of disobedience, declared war on the general and his followers. The Jedi emerged victorious. A data card provides the following account by a Jedi Padawan who died on Columus during the first schism after a battle with the Legions of Lettow. Popularly known as the Columus Data Card, it inspired at least 3 operas on Coruscant. Although the suspected Sith sympathizer Ingo Wavlud once noted his belief that this particular account was nothing less than Jedi propaganda, tests indicate that the data card is authentic to the period. Circa 24,500 BBY. Author, Jedi Apprentice, Danzigorro Potts.
I've received the transmission. The news that General Xendor is dead. At last we prevailed over the Legions of Lettow. I know it may be wrong of me, but I am relieved by his death, as I trust it brings an end to this awful war. For the first time in months, I look forward to tomorrow. I wonder if I might find a spot of sunshine before morning. Better yet, I might find a familiar friendly face, one that's still breathing. Forgive me, my masters. My thoughts go astray. I do not mean to dishonor your teachings by babbling. You know I was never good with words. I always wished I could make them flow better. My throat is so dry, and I'm bleeding something awful. I hope I'm holding this audio card right. Hear my words, fellow Jedi. I, the Jedi Apprentice Danzigorro Potts, am the last survivor of the conflict on Columus. There were nearly 30 Dark Jedi, so we were fairly evenly matched. Tried to trap us in this ravine, they did. The battle was fierce and fast. It's so quiet now. Peaceful even. But we can thank the Force for all we can thank the Force for... So sorry. I want to leave you with some important words. I guess I'm at a loss. I'm dying. I'm just gonna say whatever I want to say. I killed my friend Blendry and her apprentice Cutthalox today, right here on the battlefield. Hadn't seen them since they ran off with my old master Juke Habruzin to join up with Xendor. Caught up with Habruzin on Coralag and ran him through, I did. But Blendry and Cutthalox, they kept getting away, one world to the next. All the way to here. Not that I wanted revenge, of course, but well, all the rebels had to be stopped. Did they not? I loved being a Jedi. Loved it. Wouldn't have changed a thing. But to be honest, after Blendry joined up with the Legions of Lettow, I started thinking about how she'd been complaining about the Jedi Order being so sterile. About how bored she was by all that endless meditation. Understand. I was never tempted by the dark side. Being in the light was never a dangerous balancing act for me. It wasn't. Maybe it's because I'm simpler than some, or so Blendry says. I mean, that's what she used to say. But I never ducked a battle, and I never betrayed the Jedi, and I never wanted to do bad things. To the Jedi who finds this data card, I'm hoping you'll remember this about Blendry. You see, Blendry was my best friend when we were children. She was the one who showed me how to use the Force, even before we knew what the Force was. She was a good girl, Blendry was. A really good person. Maybe she teased me a few times when she became a Jedi Knight and I was still an apprentice. But I knew she was just joking. The reason I mention this is because I don't think she joined the dark side in the Legions of Lettow because she was evil. I think she just got tired of all the Jedi rules, being told what to do, how to behave, how not to behave, all the time. I think it crushed her a bit. As for the other Jedi who left the Order to join the Legions, I don't know. It seems too easy to blame everything on Xendor and the dark side. Maybe the Jedi were partly to blame too. I'm not good with history, but I know that for more than 5 centuries the Jedi didn't have much trouble with anyone. Sure, a dark Jedi here and there, I heard tell. But then along came Xendor, telling Jedi they didn't have to obey orders all the time. I know it sounds crazy, but I wonder, maybe the Jedi need an enemy, I think. Without a common enemy, we'll just wind up fighting each other and ourselves. Does that make sense? It's getting really cold. I only wish...
I hope you've enjoyed this reading of Danzigorro Potts Data Card